Right? That's how I get the good ones.
I confess, Solus, I am surprised you decided to remain.
Why? The breach remains a threat to us all.
Just the same. I wondered if you might leave now that we have a plan to seal it.
Ah, because I am an apostate. I might flee before the Inquisition throws me in chains? I take my commitment seriously, Seeker. Come what may, I shall see this through.
As you wish. Though I cannot guarantee what will happen in the days to come.
Seeker, you initially believed our Herald of Andraste was involved in the attack on the Conclave, yes?
I did. The evidence seemed damning, given the lack of an alternative.
Yet you changed your mind.
You also heard the voices at the temple. Is it so surprising I listened to them?
Sadly, yes. Too few invested with authority possess the courage to alter their course. They fear the appearance of weakness.
The truth is more important than my reputation. And anyone wishing to accuse me of weakness is welcome to try. Solus, did you ever consider reforming the Circle from within? You have both knowledge and wisdom. You could have made a difference.
I admire your optimism. But ask yourself honestly how the Templars would have reacted.
You fear they would have made you tranquil.
There is no doubt in my mind. My studies threaten established ideas. I would never have been tolerated.
I suppose you are right. Repairing the damage done will take great effort.
Would they were more like you, Seeker. So, Seeker, your Inquisition grows.
It was never my Inquisition, Solus.
You did the brutal, thankless work of putting the wheels in motion. Do you feel no regret at letting that power pass to another?
I do not always agree with the Inquisitor, but I know well that I am also not always right. Whatever regrets I have, I will endure. The world needs a leader. I did my part, but the power you describe was never mine to carry. I know myself, and I cannot be the leader we need. Thus, I have no regrets.
You surprise me again, Seeker.
Your opinion of me must be very low for me to surprise you so often.
Not low, but realistic. Very few, however honorable, release power they have won.
Allying with the Inquisition is likely to give the Templars significantly more authority.
That is the likely result, yes.
Does that concern you?
If I were to be shackled, you would have done so by now. I am an asset, if not a friend. I may disagree with the Inquisition's choices, but such concerns pale in comparison to the threat we face.
Now that they are disbanded, the Templars are unlikely to pose a threat to apostate mages.
I expect you are correct.
I thought you would be pleased.
I will be pleased when the world we share is not threatened by a blight-corrupted madman. We cannot afford to let political infighting distract us from our duty.
Agreed. When it is done, I promise what you have done here will not be forgotten.
Thank you, Seeker. I think. How are you feeling, Cassandra, after the revelations about your Seekers?
How do you expect I might feel? Most of my life was dedicated to the Order. I did so much I believed was good in their name.
Now that you know them corrupt, you must determine which parts of yourself to discard and which to keep.
I assume you have advice?
I would hardly presume. In our travels, I have been impressed by your honesty and your faith. It is a difficult path, Seeker. But if anyone can walk it honorably, you can.
I noticed, Solus, that you did not seem surprised by what I uncovered about the Seekers.
No, they are an organization.
You think organizations to be inherently corrupt?
Given enough time, yes. To survive, an organization must devote resources to maintaining itself. Those resources inevitably accumulate, until the original purpose, however pure, is all but lost.
You make the Seekers sound like a mindless beast.
A beast, no matter how mindless, will die and give way to a successor. An organization is eternal. There are always corrupt men who hoard power for their own gain, and there are always honorable men who hoard power to fight them.
Solus, I am sorry about your friend.
Thank you.
I knew demons and spirits were similar, but I did not know one could become the other so easily.
Not similar, Seeker. The same. The Chantry sees black and white, but nature is, and always has been, grey. A spirit is a purpose. A demon is that purpose perverted.
That might be true with the spirit of compassion, but what is the purpose of a hunger demon?
Survival, satiation, the pleasure of taste, of feeding. True hunger, however, is much darker. Think of all those who starve in this world. Mankind has itself to blame for the existence of demons.
I had not considered how fighting in our world might affect the Fade. Is it always thus, Solas?
It is worse this time, with the breach pulling spirits through against their will. But yes, every war, no matter how just, leads to hunger and rage, and so come the demons.
It is said that generals should avoid fighting in the same battlefield too many times.
The deaths, the rage, all of it weakens the veil.
But nothing is ever said of the effect war has upon the world of spirits, what we might be doing to them.
Every war has unintended victims. All too many go unnoticed. You seem troubled, Seeker. Still plagued by thoughts of your order?
I am reminded of what I was told following my vigil. They said my abilities were a gift from the Maker, a reward for my faith and dedication. But it was a trick, wasn't it? A ritual no different than the harrowing, simply magic.
You should be proud having accomplished something so remarkable. Not ashamed it was not what you thought.
Thank you, Solas. That does make me feel better.
Your faith does you credit, Cassandra. I hope your Maker is worthy.
Solas, I assume you know it's possible to reverse the Rite of Tranquility.
I did hear what you learned, yes.
I know of only one mage thus cured, and he had no control of his emotions. He was distraught. Do you think that would have passed, if the Tranquil are cured only to end up thus?
They would be a danger to themselves and others, yes. It is difficult to say. In your vigil you were tranquil for but a moment. They have suffered much longer. Such control is like a muscle, atrophying without use. Given time, it might be restored, but until then...
That may be a risk we are obligated to undertake.
They will be grateful, even the ones who do not survive.
I admit, I know little of their meaning, but I did not think it was possible to remove Dalish tattoos.
Most Dalish would agree with you, and see little value in doing so.
Then how?
It was done in a private moment. I would rather not discuss it.
Of course. I should not have asked. You seem troubled.
Yes.
The Inquisitor. He seems...
Do you trust ancient elven magic, Seeker?
You know me well enough to know the answer.
Then you will understand if my concerns are not dismissed so easily. Did the well fill you with a sense of comfort, Seeker? Such rash actions will only worry you as well.
Yes, I suppose they will, at that. It was Justinia's likeness. If we had not been in the Fade... Tell me, Solas, you met the spirit in the Fade. Could it have been Justinia?
If you are looking for certainty, Cassandra, I cannot help you.
She helped us, as Justinia would have.
Then, spirit or no, her actions were worthy of respect.
I suppose that is all we will ever know. You don't think much of the Grey Wardens, Solas.
They are fools, a fact only amplified by Corypheus's meddling.
I am not blind to their failings, but Hawke and the Inquisitor are alive now because...
Because Alistair's actions define a single man. The Warden's insistence on tampering with forces they do not understand. That is what defines their order.
A harsh assessment, but after adamant, perhaps not undeserved. Solas, if you do not mind me asking, what do you believe in?
Cause and effect. Wisdom as its own reward, and the inherent right of all free-willed people to exist.
That is not what I meant.
I know. I believe the elven gods existed, as did the old gods of Devinter. But I do not think any of them were gods, unless you expand the definition of the word to the point of absurdity. I appreciate the idea of your Maker, a god who does not need to prove his power. I wish more such gods felt the same.
You have seen much sadness in your journeys, Solas. Following the Maker might offer some hope.
I have people, Seeker. The greatest triumphs and tragedies this world has known can all be traced to people.
Solas, what do you think this Corypheus actually is?
A darkspawn, as he appears.
But what of the orb he wields and the dragon he commands? This is no ordinary darkspawn.
His true advantage is the red lyrium. It is corrupted by the blight as he is. Thus he taps into its power twofold. Whatever he was before, that is what makes him dangerous now.
Solus, the dragon Corypheus commands, could it truly be an archdemon?
One assumes that if it were, we would be facing a blight.
So what is it then? A corrupted dragon? Simply another darkspawn?
It is connected to Corypheus. Such a relation goes beyond mere control. It is a bond.
It makes you wonder if that's all the archdemons themselves are, pets to beings who no longer exist.
I would not go as far as that. This dragon is a replica, spawned from a creature who aspires to greatness, no more. You fight hard, Seeker.
We would be dead if I did not. You say you've witnessed past events in the Fade, Solus, or the memories of them. But the Fade distorts reality. Surely it cannot offer a true reflection of what occurred.
Are your own memories any different? The truth is never precise, regardless of where you are. It is a comfort to have you present on our journeys, Seeker.
You so rarely call me by my name, Solus. Why is that?
Manners, perhaps.
Manners have not held you back on other occasions.
I say what I believe to be true, even if it gives offense to those who prefer the lie. But there is no lie in what you are. Your position is an honorable one, and well earned.
Solus, have you always lived alone? Out in the wilderness, as an apostate?
For the most part.
Would that not be incredibly trying?
People can be trying. Mankind most of all.
That is an excellent point. I've wondered, how did you know to approach us, Solus? The breach opened, we were scrambling and barely had time to think, and there you were.
I went to see the breach for myself. I did not know you would be there.
You must not have been far away.
I was not. I'd come to hear of the conclave, but did not want to get close.
Lucky for us, then.
Did you believe the conclave could achieve peace, Cassandra?
I had hope, as did we all.
The Templars went to war to force mages back into their circles, which the mages would never agree to. What solution could divine Justinia have offered when all sides rejected compromise?
The war was going nowhere for either side. That they went at all showed they realized this.
Or they believed the other side would relent.
We shall never know now.
Your abilities are remarkable, Seeker. It is fascinating to see how you and the Templars negate magic.
Have you never encountered Templars before?
Only at a distance. I am an apostate after all.
And they never caught up with you even once.
I am a very careful apostate.
What is it like when Templars nullify magic, Solus?
It is as though you are drawing upon the world around us. Mages draw forth the essence of the Fade, and use that essence to shape reality.
And our powers drive it back, making this world harder to affect?
In a manner of speaking. You reinforce reality so it is less mutable. The Fade has nowhere to gain a foothold, and the magic disperses.
No one has ever accused me of reinforcing reality before.
You are a seeker of truth.
It is interesting to hear a mage's perspective of our abilities, Solus.
I am pleased you find it so.
I know my abilities do not come from the Maker, as I had once thought.
Your abilities declare the world real. Who, if not the Maker of this world, could grant such a gift?
You believe in the Maker?
I am always open to new ideas.
My dear Cassandra, I am impressed with how well organized the Inquisition was in the aftermath of the conclave.
It was chaos. I would hardly call it organized.
Perspective, darling. The Chantry hasn't even found the right vestments for issuing a statement on the Divine's death.
Being more flexible than the Chantry is not a difficult goal.
Take your victories where you can, dear. Were you well acquainted with Divine Justinia, Cassandra?
I cannot claim to have known her well. Few can, except perhaps Liliana.
I envy even your slight acquaintance. By reputation, she was a formidable woman.
Justinia was a visionary. The Grand Clerics would never have chosen her had they known her intentions. And now they will never find someone to fill her shoes.
Oh, they will, darling. Even if they have to trim off her toes and heels to fit. I wonder, Cassandra, that you did not put yourself forward to lead the Inquisition while Divine Justinia was forming it.
The Divine wanted a heroic figure all of Thedas could rally behind.
How do you fall short of that description, my dear? Did you not single-handedly save the capital of Orlais?
That was hardly single-handed, Vivian.
yet still heroic. Many in the Empire remember you fondly.
A perception that would last until the moment they met me, I assure you.
You are too modest, Cassandra dear. To many, you're a figure of awe. You should make use of that.
I use it in the service of the Inquisition, when I must.
But you don't seem to enjoy it. You really ought to have more fun, darling.
How is manipulating and bullying people supposed to be enjoyable?
I assure you, there are few pleasures comparable to restoring order with one's own hands. You've done a fine job thus far, Seeker, but you could stand to be slightly more amiable.
Were you not suggesting earlier I should be more intimidating?
Of course, darling. One must never be too charming or people lose respect. Too intimidating, however, and you'll never be invited to anything. Then you may as well be dead in a ditch.
If I am never invited to another Orlesian salon, I will consider that a success.
The game is played to the death, my dear. Like it or not, you are part of it.
Do you actually see me playing the game, Vivian?
Not now, perhaps, but you could.
Wearing ball gowns and painted masks, decking myself in jewels and curtsying to suitors.
It is a battle, my dear. The armor and the weapons differ, but just as much blood is spilled.
I never thought of it quite like that.
You are a warrior, Cassandra. You'll be one whether you dress in steel or lace.
I've thought about what you said before, Vivian.
About my suggestion that you play the game.
The ball at Halam Shiral reminded me how much I hate all of it. Me, in a dress? It's ludicrous.
Don't sell yourself short, Cassandra.
Of course, you would say that.
He's a man, darling. All men appreciate a touch of skilled artifice.
They can keep their appreciation. I like my armor.
I'd like to see that. At least once.
Oh, not you too.
I suggest a vibrant red, darling. Not too deep in the neckline, mind.
Ugh.
You don't need to prove anything, Cassandra.
Exactly. I do not trust any event where hitting someone isn't an option.
You're not a battering ram, darling.
I am when it suits me. Nobody expects a battering ram to wear a dress.
It's disappointing, but perhaps some battles should be left to those more suited.
My thoughts exactly. Vivian, about you and Duke Bastien.
There's no need to tiptoe, darling.
You were together a long time?
We were, yes. And I will cherish the years we had.
Are you?
More questions, my. Aren't we curious today? Seeking guidance in matters of the heart?
I only wish to express my sympathy, Vivian.
It will be fine, dear.
She is also a woman of strong convictions and great faith.
A statement one could make about any wide-eyed lay sister.
She is also an intelligent woman with strong convictions.
Important qualities for whomever takes the sunburst throne. The divine stands apart. She must command respect and attention, or she will accomplish nothing. Which means we have two fine candidates, wouldn't you agree?
The decision rests in the hands of the Grand Clerics.
Such modesty.
The Chantry needs to change, and I would see it done, but if I am chosen, then I pray it is the Maker's will and not ambition that guides me there.
You made quite the impression at the Winter Palace.
When I punched the wall, perhaps.
Not the most distinguished impression, certainly, but given your discomfort, I expected worse.
I did not realize it took so little to exceed your expectations.
Come, my dear, there's no need to be touchy. You'll do far better next time. Did you think you could dance with one of the most powerful men in southern Thedas and go unnoticed?
They were all talking, weren't they?
It was on the lips of half the court before the song was done. It could have taken a day or two for news to reach the capital, given the disruptions of the Civil War.
Oh, sweet Maker.
You weren't aiming for discretion, darling, were you? I do hope you intend to rebuild your Seekers, Cassandra.
Rebuilding is not enough. I would see the Seekers forged into something greater than what they were.
I'm pleased to hear it, my dear. With the Templars all but lost, we'll need someone to deal with dangerous magic.
I fear the Seekers' time has passed. If there was something worth saving, it is gone now.
With the Templars all but lost as well? The threat posed by dangerous magic still exists, my dear. Someone will have to deal with it.
Then let it be someone worthy.
Oh, at least the Inquisition had the sense to ally with the Templars. When this is all over, there will still be someone capable of dealing with magical threats. You know, Cassandra, you really ought to have armor with gilding. Or dragon scales. Preferably both.
Would that not be impractical?
It would be dramatic, my dear. Half the value of armor is intimidation.
I prefer the half that keeps blades out of my innards, personally.
My dear Cassandra, whatever persuaded you to bring Varric to the Conclave?
I wanted him to testify about the events at Kirkwall to the Divine.
He wrote all of that down, did he not? He didn't need to come in person.
The Divine also wanted him to autograph her copy of Hard in Hightown.
What? You never told me that.
It was a minor consideration. You should feel flattered.
That our former divine kidnapped and brutalized her favorite authors? Oh, yes. Thrilled.
So you are 78 in line to the Navaran throne, Cassandra? That is rather far off. Even so, many enjoy the idle life afforded by the most distant of titles. You could have been provided with every luxury if you'd remained in that life.
I am ill-suited to finery, Vivian. Besides, I can accomplish more as I am now.
You pursued duty and responsibility, a path that took you next to the Sunburst throne. Well played.
I try to do the Maker's work. Where I stand while doing so is unimportant.
You must admit, it does help.
You've adjusted to the Inquisition quickly, Vivian. We must lack many of the luxuries to which you are accustomed.
One does not survive the Orlesian court without learning to adapt, my dear.
Skyhold is hardly the Orlesian court.
You needn't tell me that. We all have our little sacrifices. I've heard your uncle is a Mortalitasi, Cassandra.
You've heard correctly. Necromancy is not uncommon in Navarra.
You must understand, the rumors in the south surrounding Mortalitasi...
I have always found the practice morbid, but the stories one hears outside Navarra, such fascinations reveal far more about the teller than the truth. You would prefer to have the Templars return to guarding the circles, Vivienne?
Of course, my dear. They need better oversight, clearly, but one does not throw away a tool because it was misused.
Few mages would ask for Templars in the circle.
Speak to Ferelden's first enchanter. You might be surprised. When abominations ravage your tower, suddenly the world holds far too few Templars. You must see the value in restoring the circles, Cassandra.
Provided they fulfill their purpose. Too many have suffered since the Mage Rebellion began. But we cannot ignore the abuses that prompted it. Without change, we risk repeating the events at Kirkwall.
Or recreating its opposite. An overly lenient circle is a comparable threat. Kirkwall was lamentable, but it was the blithe misuse of power, not restrictions, that led to the first blight.
You are not from Olay originally, Vivian.
Neither are you, clearly.
I ask because of your accent. I would have thought, once you joined the court...
That which makes you different can be a burden or a source of strength, my dear. Which is up to you.
I wish someone had told me that when I was younger. I assume your parents were Rivaini, Vivian.
They were merchants, originally from Desmuid, or so I'm told.
You don't remember?
I was taken to the Ostwick Circle when I was very young. So far as I'm concerned, my life began there. Cassandra, you do know they still tell tales of the dragon attack on Val Royaux.
I'm aware. I'm also aware they grow larger with each retelling.
Many yet live who saw it with their own eyes.
From what I've heard from so-called witnesses, I have to wonder.
You are too modest, dear. You could have parlayed that victory into more than a position at the Divine's right hand.
If I was someone else, perhaps. I simply did what I needed to do.
I'm curious, Cassandra. Why were you not at the Conclave?
Liliana and I were delayed returning from Kirkwall.
Delayed by interrogating a certain dwarf specifically.
A rather fortunate delay, it turns out.
I'm not so certain. If we had only...
You must not blame yourself, dear. You have done all you could, and more.
Thank you. But I suspect I will be telling myself that for years to come.
You're smirking again, like in that fight before. What's so funny?
The simplest spell had you white as a sheet. I've shrugged off worse in practice.
Well, sorry I'm scared of the stuff I've been warned about my whole life, like most people who aren't seekers.
I apologize. I could help if you're willing.
No, I have things to do. You can help by standing in front of me.
That I can do.
You know, you shouldn't make fun of people being scared of magic just because you can scare them back.
I take it you think I'm frightening.
Not naked, you're well fit, but all armoured up and fierce. What do you think some stable boy sees?
A seeker on the side of righteousness.
Here's what I learned in the alleys. Ah, mages. Ah, Templars. Ah, Tevinters. Ah, hungry. When you're little, everything is ah!
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Who's what now?
My family is nobility. I've been in Seeker training since I was 6. I walked with the divine. I've never considered what I must look like to someone common. I must indeed seem terrifying.
Nah, you're all right. Skip the someone common bit, though. Makes you seem a bit of a shit. What was she like? The divine, I mean. Was she as pretty as her plates?
Pretty as her what?
Her plates with her portrait on. They sold them down the shops in Val Royeaux. You'd see them on walls a lot. Cost a bundle and you couldn't even eat off them. Well, part of them. The yellowy-brown paint's poisonous. Had to keep your mash off her eyes.
They put Most Holy's portrait on plates.
You good yet, Cassandra? Can you tell me what she was like?
Who? Oh, the divine. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not used to such unorthodox displays of faith. Most Holy was a visionary. I served as her right hand, and would have done so as long as she needed me.
But you didn't know her.
I just said I served as her right hand.
Fine, whatever, I'll ask Leliana. You can tell there was something with those two. Family pain there.
You were right, Sarah. I don't know that I knew Divine Justinia at all.
Shame, right? She was pretty.
Sarah, about you and the Inquisitor.
Right, here we go. What is it from you?
If you are going to pursue this, make it worth it. Be happy.
You cagey, boxed up, kissy romantic.
There is no need to tell anyone that.
Who doesn't already know, that is.
Who hasn't already seen your collection of books?
No need, because it's hardly a secret, my dear.
Hey, Inky, we telling anyone?
Does yelling it while we walk around count?
No, wait. Yes. Sorry, Cassandra, but thanks.
Not a soul, Sarah.
Ah, but you heard it, right? I heard it. Thanks, Cassandra. You have a thing for the Inquisitor. His thing and your thing, doing things.
Nothing so base as that.
Aw, sorry to hear it. How's that Temple of Demon rubbish sitting with you, Cassandra?
I have faith the Inquisitor did as he thought best.
Really? Lady trained from birth has no problem with a temple to everything the Chantry says is shit.
I did not say I had no problem. I said I have faith.
Stop pointing that at me.
What are you talking about? My weapon's nowhere near.
Your face. That sobby pity face. Why are you aiming it at me?
I know what occurred in the Fade troubled you. If you ever wish to talk...
It's nothing. Just scary rubbish demons that are done. We got out. Mostly. There, talked. Now everything is good. Right?
Of course.
Good. We're all good. Phew.
I know what happened at Adamant troubled you. If you ever wish to talk...
She came back. That's all that matters. Maybe it's you who's still shaky. Everyone just needs to not think about it and feel better.
You're right. I do feel better now.
Hey, Cassandra, were those really all your names, or were you having them on?
Having who on?
At the Winter Palace. Were you having them on, or are you really Cassandra, Allergy, Porter, Philimajig, Pentagast?
I really am. My family is as pretentious as it is large.
How do you remember them all?
I have them stitched into all my clothes.
Hey, Inquisitor, is that true? Do they fit across her underpants?
You will not answer that.
No way that fits across your breeches. So you and the Inquisitor don't seem so, you know, anymore.
Some things cannot last.
Right, yeah. So is this awkward, or...?
Cassandra and I are still friends. I hope.
I hope so too.
That's not so bad then.
Surprising you would say that.
Right. Awkward it is.
You're making it awkward.
I am not. Well, now it is, but you said it.
Perhaps this would be a good time to stop talking.
Sure.
It's fine, Sarah. But this isn't the place to discuss it.
You need a drink or something? You tell me.
Sarah, I was speaking with Dagnar recently. Did you take some of her tools?
Just the thing that removes the screw bits. I thought I'd put it back. I'll put it back.
Why did you have it in the first place?
Needed it for the hinges.
What hinges?
Like on a door. Don't worry, it's not for you.
That's comforting.
Cassandra, have you ever punched a bear?
What? No, why would I?
Well, what's it for then? The training, I mean. You stand harder than Cullen's soldiers. Must be for something.
I am a seeker in service of the divine. I am a warrior of truth.
All right, all right. Just seems like you could punch a bear if you wanted.
Sarah, why would you assume I should use my training to assault an animal?
What, the punch a bear thing? I don't know. I just figured you'd want to know if you could. I mean, I sometimes put an arrow just to see if I can hit something. Oh, did Andraste say not to use your training for fun? Fun for you, I mean. Probably not fun for the bear. You've got some reach on you.
No. No, Andraste did not specifically say one should not punch bears.
Well, there you go then.
Sarah, how are you not dead?
What are you on about?
I was trained from childhood by the greatest swordsman of an age. You were apparently orphaned to the street with your wits and a quiver, neither full.
You come from nobles, all right. Get over yourself. I'm not even near the bottom of what real people live through. So, Cassandra, if you were trained young, how long have you been giving Andraste's hairy eyeball?
Andraste's what?
The sword eye hair thing. You know, knock knock, Inquisition, Andraste's hairy eyeball says, "What are you doing?"
The eye is wreathed in fire, the light of the Maker and the flames of Andraste's sacrifice.
Oh, you need better painters. I just figured she was ginger.
She was.
Well, there you go then.
No, there we don't go.
You haven't used up all your guesses.
I'm conceding. I wasn't very interested to begin with.
Well, then, just cross your legs and guess?
Conceding. I'm giving up.
Some seeker you are. Oh, come on. Make another guess.
Very well. In Thedas.
It has to be a place, not every place.
Perhaps if you told me the rules.
What rules? Everyone knows how to guess, except you.
Here's a guess for you, Sarah. Ansberg.
Not bad. It should sound more southern.
Fine then. High ever.
Well, you're not very good at this.
I don't really know Ferelden that well.
Just guess. Somewhere fun.
Another guess, Sarah. Were you born in Denerim?
What? No. Is that what you're trying for?
That was the question that began this whole thing.
That was your question. I just hoped something on the map would rhyme with arse. Besides, I don't know or much care where I was born.
Arse.
Oh, for me. So where were you born, Cassandra?
Don't you want to guess?
Fine. On a pile of the softest gold, with big hat priests patting your butt or singing and playing trumpets?
What does that even... I was born in a carriage halfway between Cumberland and Valchevin.
Hard one, you. Right on the floor.
So my brother claimed. Not quite the lap of luxury you were picturing, I assume.
3 eggs, a canary, and a soggy biscuit.
Are we to know what that means?
That joke I was telling you where I couldn't remember the end bit. So the man says, 3 eggs, a canary, and a soggy biscuit. Not bad, right?
If somewhat blasphemous.
It's funny. What's the old Inquisition motto again?
I'm not saying it again, Sarah.
Come on.
Into darkness, unafraid.
Around the corner, chocolate's made.
Maker preserve us.
You just hate chocolate.
Sarah, I noticed one of my books is missing.
Maybe check with Creepy. He still touches everything.
I like the stories in her head better than the words on the page.
Cole didn't take it.
Right, which one?
The one with all the illustrations.
Oh, that one was full on. I threw it under your bed.
You don't know how to ask permission first?
Fine. Please can I not find more of your mucky little books? Drawings, ew. So you spend a lot of time around dead people? Corpses?
As Navarans, we pay respect to the departed in family crypts.
Pay respect? Like, pose them and dress them up and such?
Not in the way you're picturing.
It sounds like a big dead dollhouse. Dollhouses are creepy enough.
Well, now you know.
Rose! No, wait. Robin's egg.
Is this another game?
Trying to guess the colour of your underpants.
I don't wear underpants.
Everyone hear that?
Sarah, was there ever actually someone named Red Jenny?
There was. Maybe. Doesn't matter now.
You don't ever wonder how your organization got started?
Why? It isn't like a chantry where starts matter.
That would be giving it too much credit, that's true.
I'd be careful. The one in Navarra's mean. You're from a rich family, Cassandra.
Not every Pentagast is wealthy. I certainly was not once my parents were executed.
You say that like it's normal. But I suppose you did live with the dead.
If by dead you mean a mortalitasi necromancer, a keeper of the dead, then yes.
Well, that sounds shit.
Hence my joining the chantry. Sarah, do you believe in the Maker?
Yes. Some of it's a bit off, but wait, why?
I just thought, the way you've lived.
What? I don't belong because I never joined some holy whatever?
But you're a thief.
I take back. And you kill people.
True, but only those I must.
Ones who deserve it. Right, we're real different.
I am very pleased you joined us, Warden Blackwell.
The honor is mine, Lady Seeker.
We need strong, righteous warriors. Now more than ever.
Righteous? High praise, Cassandra. Many wardens have hardly lived righteous lives.
True. Yet you give yourself to an order that would die to protect others. It is never too late to do better, and become more than what you are.
That is the hope. You joined the Seekers when you were young, did you not?
I wanted to join the Templars, but was given to the Seekers.
So you knew what you wanted, even if you didn't get it.
I wanted vengeance at first, but I discovered a deeper joy in duty.
That's good. Some of us take much longer to find our place.
And some never find it. We are both lucky. And how did you join the Wardens?
It's the usual story.
There is no such thing as a usual story.
A tavern, a chance meeting, a senior warden who saw worth in a worthless man. I'm not alone.
There is more to this. You just don't want to tell it.
No, you don't want to hear it. Cassandra.
Seeker Cassandra, if you must address me.
Seeker Cassandra.
But I would rather you not address me at all.
What happened to "it's never too late to become more than what you are"?
A man who truly aspired to be righteous would not lie. He would earn respect, not steal the respect due another.
So?
What is it?
Nothing. Just enjoying the comfortable silence.
What is the matter with you?
You mean me?
You're favoring your right arm.
It's just a slight sprain. Should be fine by tomorrow. I appreciate your concern.
You are still a part of the Inquisition, and you continue without complaint. So long as you serve, I would not see you injured.
Thank you, Seeker Cassandra. Love suits you, Cassandra.
What are you talking about?
You seem to be smiling a great deal more than usual. Or am I mistaken?
Evidently.
And the sidelong glances at the Inquisitor?
You're seeing things.
The humming?
I do not hum.
Then apparently I should better protect my head.
I see the Inquisitor kept you around. I would not have were it up to me.
Such spite is beneath you, Cassandra.
Is it? What do you know of me? Even less than we know of you.
I wasn't...
You have no right to determine what is beneath me. Not now, not ever.
That's enough, Cassandra.
As you wish. I was going to pursue it no further.
Leave it be, Blackwall. There's no point.
Of course. You're right.
The way you two bicker is quite funny.
It isn't meant to be. And it ends here.
As you wish, Seeker. I'm sorry about your apprentice.
Former apprentice. Daniel completed his training with me years ago.
It must be difficult to
What makes you think I would welcome your pity?
I don't. And I didn't know him. But it seems we lost a good seeker.
You are right. He was a good man. Thank you. Daniel had raw skill. Everyone could see it. He knew it himself.
Quite a handful, then.
You would think so, but no. He was attentive, to the point of irritation at times. He was under the impression I had something to teach him.
Sounds like a fine young man.
He was. I should ask Mother Giselle to hold a service for Alistair. We must honor his courage and his sacrifice. You should attend Blackwall.
Why do you want me there?
You pretended to be a warden long enough. You should pay respect to one who actually served. Would you join us, Blackwall? One of his own should attend.
You knew him as well as I did, Cassandra. But I will pay my respects.
Alistair speaks highly of you, Blackwall.
He does? We just met.
You knew his mentor, Duncan.
Right.
What was he like?
Well, Alistair's a good man. He helped end the Blight. And Duncan's the sort even he would look up to.
I understand Loghain is not highly regarded in Ferelden, despite his efforts against the Blight.
Traitor is not an easy title to escape.
He doesn't deny the claims, but I'm not certain he accepts them either.
I wasn't there, Cassandra.
Forgive me. He is your comrade. That was insensitive.
Ha ha! You're going soft, Seeker. Maybe I should have been a warden.
Stroud shares your reserved nature, Blackwall. It must be a common trait among wardens.
You find me reserved?
At times.
I was aiming for aloof.
Keep trying. I'm certain you'll get there.
I notice you seem to focus yourself before battle, Cassandra.
I still my mind and focus my thoughts on the Maker. I ask for his guidance. I ask to be reforged into an instrument of his will. What about you? How do you center yourself?
I tell myself, it's them or you, and if it's you, be damn sure to take the bastards with you.
Well, that's...
Crude, yes, but it works. Is it true that Leliana knows everything about everyone?
Only the Maker knows everything about everyone. But it doesn't hurt if people believe it of Leliana.
You encourage it?
It keeps people honest. Besides, if there is anything to learn, Leliana will learn it. I've seen her work.
Right. Good to know. Could you be a little more gentle the next time we spar, Cassandra?
Why? You can take it?
Yes, but I'd rather not.
I did not realize you were made of glass.
Bruised glass, thank you. The other day, did I see you punch a tree? What did it ever do to you?
Plenty.
I see.
I suffered from hay fever when I was small. My brother joked I should punch a tree in retaliation. So I did, and the sneezing stopped. I've done it ever since.
The direct approach. I like it.
I cannot place your fighting style, and I have studied the martial arts for years.
It's from everywhere. I travelled a lot in my youth. I miss our sparring matches, Seeker, Cassandra. You were a worthy opponent.
I have other duties. Why not ask Iron Bull? He is always willing to hit something.
I don't much fancy a concussion.
Wouldn't happen unless I meant it to happen.
Comforting.
I'm sure you'll manage.
You had a brother?
Yes. Not that it concerns you.
I had a sister. A younger sister. She died when I was very little.
Is that a true fact, or another fabrication?
I have no more reason to lie, Cassandra. I often wonder what she'd be like now, had she lived.
If you even think about saying she'd be like me, I will hit you.
Hitting is better than quiet rage. You had a brother?
I did. I still miss him sometimes.
I had a sister. A younger sister. She died when I was very little.
I'm sorry.
I often think about what she'd be like now, had she lived.
Much like her brother, I would expect.
Maker, I wouldn't wish that on her. All this hair.
How do you stand the Skyhold stables?
They're quiet. I like having time to myself.
I can't imagine finding quiet time in that stench.
They're only horses.
They're not horses. They're dung monsters with hooves and tails.
So, you were the right hand of the Divine and Liliana the left?
Yes. And if you joke about the right hand not knowing what the left is doing, I will punch you.
Me? No, I would never make such a terrible joke.
That whetstone you lent me, it produces a remarkable edge.
Celestine Black, they call it. It's the only stone I'll use on my blades. You know what? Keep it. I'll find another.
That won't be necessary.
Of course. They say your family almost drove the dragons to extinction. A shame. Majestic beasts.
Majestic? Say that after you see a pile of dragon shit bigger than your house.
So, an apostate.
That is correct, Enchanter. I did not train in your circle.
Well, dear, I hope you can take care of yourself, should we encounter anything outside your experience.
I will try, in my own fumbling way, to learn from how you helped seal the rifts at Haven. Ah, wait. My memory misleads me. You were not there.
You know, Solus, you do an excellent job of spellcasting without any concrete knowledge of technique.
Your rigorous training lays a solid foundation, true. It also creates boundaries, limits, where none need exist.
I do prefer to have boundaries between myself and the demons, my dear.
Of course. You endure the harrowing, where your circle teaches you that all demons attempt to possess you.
Not at all. Many of them simply want to kill you. I suppose you would claim otherwise.
Why should I? You would not believe me. You have learned your lessons all too well. The fact that I, an apostate, have not been enslaved by demons must be quite vexing, Enchanter.
Not at all, darling. You clearly have an exceptional gift for the Fade.
You flatter me.
I'm far more surprised you haven't been murdered by terrified villagers wielding pitchforks.
Yes, packing all the mages into towers and threatening them with Templars certainly kept them safe.
It did.